Oh, did she really? No, Lefty, you always manage to. Oh, we're rolling. Hi, everyone. Geoff from Anatomy and You here. And Lefty and I were just working on a muscle dissection, and we'll be talking about muscles for our memory trick today. Now, there are over 300 pairs of muscles in the body, so it's definitely something you'll want to use memory tricks for. So let's go in for a closer look for the muscle that I'll be talking about today. Alright, so this is the muscle that we're going to be talking about today, and in some animals, like this mink, it's called the Sternomastoid. It runs from the sternum to the mastoid process of the skull, which is a bump that you can feel behind your ear. And we can see it runs along the side of the neck, and it looks almost like a thick muscle necklace. Alright, so now you may be saying something to yourself like, Geoff, why are we talking about the Sternomastoid? It's not even a muscle that humans have. Well, that's kind of true. In animals like the mink that we saw, or your dog or cat, the Sternomastoid and Cleidomastoid are two separate muscles. In humans, it's one muscle with two heads, Sternocleidomastoid. Now, when I have my students do muscle dissections, I recommend that they start with the Sternomastoid. It's thick, distinctive, it's easy to identify, and it's a superficial muscle, meaning that we don't need to clear anything out of the way in order to see it. Now, this is true of the Sternocleidomastoids in humans, too. It's a superficial muscle, and you can actually see it without any dissection. You can see it through the skin on a living person. Alright, so I'm going to rotate and tilt my head a little bit, and as I do that, you should be able to see both heads of the Sternocleidomastoid. Right in there. And so you can see one of them is coming from the sternum, and the other from the clavicle. So this is a muscle that we can both see and palpate in a living person. Alright. So let's talk about the Sternocleidomastoid for a bit because it's a cool muscle with some unique features. Now, when only one side contracts, we can rotate the head like this. We can tilt the head to the side, like when your dog is confused. And when both sides contract, we can flex the head and neck like this. And it's also involved in deep inhalation. The Sternocleidomastoid is also an important anatomical landmark. It divides the neck into what's called the anterior and posterior triangles, and we can also use it as a landmark to locate many important structures like the carotid arteries, jugular veins, and phrenic nerves. Now let's get on to our memory tip for the Sternocleidomastoid. Alright, so far we've seen that the Sternocleidomastoid is a thick muscle, and it's kind of like a necklace. Now, when I think of thick muscles and a necklace, there's a certain celebrity that comes to mind, and best of all, his name is hidden in the letters of Sternocleidomastoid. Alright, Lefty, who is it? Lefty. This isn't how we rehearse this. Okay, cut. Hold on a sec. Well, Lefty was feeling kind of camera shy today, so I've gone ahead and I pulled letters out of the word Sternocleidomastoid, and I've rearranged them to spell Mr. T, celebrity known for thick muscles and a thick gold necklace that reminds me of the Sternocleidomastoid muscle, which from now on you can think of as the Mr. T muscle. Now, I know as far as memory tricks go, this one is kind of out there, but remember, the point of memory tricks is that they're supposed to stand out in your mind, and sometimes the sillier and the zanier the memory trick is, the easier it'll be for you to remember. So I hope you enjoyed this memory trick, and if you want to see some more, subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at anatomyandyou.com, and for personalized online instruction in human anatomy, come to my website anatomyandyou.com, where we're talking about anything in or on the body. Thanks, and see you next time.